Good morning. Good morning. Today we're going to be taking a look at XRP on the long and short-term time frames and the Sigma coin. So, all right. So we've got our capitulation event that occurred back here just a few days ago, and now we are having a great bounce and rejection, coming back down a little bit for profit taking. So, no green dot at this point in time for the 3-day. So we're just chilling back in spot. We did get an activation of our quick snipe move. And a lot of people got orders all the way between 135 down to, I think, as low as like 119 is what I saw in the group. And then those profits were taken back into this back test, and now we're back mostly in cash. And we're going to go and explore today how these reversals kind of played out through time. So right now, cash should be the main position that you're in, unless you're willing to weather potential lower price action. So, all right, so we've got that. Now we jump over to the shorter term time frames. So let's take a look at the XRP floating here on the 1 hour. So you can see this great take back. We had some targets that we were expecting to move through. So when you're looking on a breakdown like this and you have this larger kind of capitulation that plays out, you're looking for inefficiencies here, right? You're looking for areas where it just goes super fast like this and you don't see any type of price action returning. So like this one, and over here and over here. So the area that we kind of eyeballed looking at this was this little bounce area that we had right here at, I believe, $1.50 is where, yeah, I put it right down here, there. Okay. So we had this kind of rollover and this breakdown, right? And in here, you could see that this kind of had 2 candles down, 1 candle up, this one, but this guy right here didn't have any kind of, it only had like half the move taken back, and then it broke down all the way. So this candle was probably the one that we were aiming for, so $1.5117, and sure enough, all of the entries into this region, reversal back up into this region, and a wick back up to our deviation levels, and a rejection, all with candle closes right at that same level. So you can see that the candles, we've got wicks above and candles ultimately below there that happened. So then since then we've done our ABC, and then we've set a higher low. So we could probably continue marching out of here, but the goal of this particular trade was to snipe this bottom, quick profit, back to cash, and wait for our larger indicator to turn green. And this was all shared in the Discord, where if you hold 160 million Sigma, that's slowly refreshing, you will ultimately be able to gain access to the Discord with the alerts that we are referencing here for these quick snipes and moves. So, ultimately, then this led to this shorter term time frame where we have this rejection, and now we're bull flagging so far. Now let's go back historically and look at how some of these have played out in the past. So, all right, so we've got the current price action that we're doing now. We're going to shift to the 4 hour. So you can see on the 4 hour, we're still chopping around, moving through this region right here. Okay. Then we have our 1010 event. So 1010 took back a huge breakdown, then took it all back, back tested, and then went and set one more high and got back up to the initial breakdown point, right? So you can see that's right about where it was there, and then right, and it went over one more low. Then you have this guy where we were actually a little bit stronger off the lows. So we broke down. We did a bull flag under like this kind of first capitulation area, and then we had this area of supply, and we had so much strength we actually shot up above the area of supply into this resistance area, rejected, and then rolled over and set a new low, taking back the majority of that price action. Zooming out further, this was one we did not get an alert for, but we'll just go over it. You have this one came down, popped back up, took back most of the range, rejected, came back up, rejected, came back up as a large grind of chop on the way up out to the supply, right? And then this last one we did get an alert for, and you could see again that as soon as the inefficiency candles showed up, where we just went straight down and up and down again, then we came up and we actually were able to reclaim fairly quickly all the way up to that top efficiency level, and then had another pullback as profits were taken and went from there. So during these time frames, you would have different types of things going on with the 3-day. So remember this particular portion here where we go down, up, down, down again. You can see back here during that time, our larger macro indicator actually already had us in cash moving to it when the dot appeared back over in this region with the collapse happening, because we had a stop loss up here. So we exited in the stop, it broke down, we got our indicator to go off here at this region right here at that yellow circle, and then we just ignored all this and then finally attempted another entry right in this region with the stop out, and then officially got back in after waiting all these months into this run right here. So yes, that's ultimately what we're looking at for the macro. So we have currently an opportunity to scalp, a push back up into the range, and that's exactly what we're looking at here with a push back up into the range. I do expect this to continue onward, but the road will be choppy, and so this is what we're seeing right here with this potential bull flag setup with a hopeful continuation to this inefficiency level here at $1.87. And we may even be so fortunate to get up to this guy, which is up in the $2 region for that first initial capitulation that we only partially closed. So those are our targets we're looking for next, but the quick snipe should be good while we wait for our 3-day to turn green and everything else. So now, liquidity-wise, they got the liquidity that was down here on the 24-hour. And now you can see they've got a bull flag forming, getting ready to break out. So as long as we stay above this, region right here, you should be good. And then for a continuation and maybe higher levels. Oh, and this is on Bitcoin, so you can see that's the Bitcoin chart. And let's shift over to XRP. And so while we have this loading here, the XRP price action 24 hours shows us that we do have a lot of liquidity sitting up here at this $1.55 region for the short. So that would line up with the continuation above our current price action, getting back up into this $1.50 region and breaking into and beyond, probably up to $1.86 for our next target. So Sigma coin, great reaction off the lows with XRP as well. And you can see we are finally taking back for the first time some of our moves here that we've been dealing with. So 3-day finally starting to cross over, so it's got some time to go. Our 1-day is starting to get a little over excited there, and our 12-hour is at the top of the range. So do expect small little pullbacks, profit taking for anybody who wants to get into the Sigma Discord. This is great. Any pullbacks are for buying, for you to get into the 160 million necessary to get back into the Discord and get the alpha. So all right, guys, that's how we're looking at the markets today. So Sigma, great reaction. I expect continuation ultimately, just chop on the way. And then we've got ourselves some liquidity sitting below us, but we also have some above us, a larger portion, and that could continue our advance up the mountain, with the scalp indicator telling us to ultimately be out of the positioning back up here at $1.75, grabbing and sniping the snipe, and then revisiting this breakdown area that we very cleanly, aggressively tagged with our deviation levels. And now the question is, do we send a new lower low, or do we end up breaking out and up, getting back up into these higher regions? So with a 3-day saying stay away. All right, guys, hopefully that was helpful this morning on how we're looking at the markets, and we will check in tomorrow.